my channel. So this week we are going to be making a cocktail called the El Presidente, which I thought would be appropriate given the time of year and the inauguration and all the rest of it. So this is a Cuban cocktail, and we're going to make a slightly not updated, just a different version without the grenadines. So we're going to need 1.5 ounces of white rum, 1/4 ounce of orange curaçao, orange liqueur is what I'm using, and then 1.5 ounces of dry vermouth, and then we're going to need a cherry to garnish. So this is going to be a stirred cocktail, so we can get our ice ready. Now I already have 1/3 ounce of water in my mixing glass because I'm not using wet ice, and dilution is quite important with this drink. So let's get started and I will tell you a little bit about the history. Now, I'm going to try my best to get all the names right. I'm probably going to get them wrong because I'm doing two things at once. So, in Cuba, between 1913 and 1921, President Menocal was in power, and this drink was created for him, hence the name El Presidente. And it was created by an American bartender at the Jockey Club in Havana during, obviously, Prohibition times. And it was, yes, the bartender's name was, sorry, I'm already getting ahead of myself. The bartender's name is Eddie Walker. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And so it was originally equal parts rum and dry vermouth, but then with like a bar spoon of grenadine added for sweetness. But then President Machado came into power in 1925. I think I've managed to get all the names right at this point, which is quite an achievement for me. President Machado came into power in 1925, and he wanted his own version of the cocktail. So they altered it a little bit and added some orange curaçao, and I guess he got to have his own drink at that point. I wonder whether any of the following presidents ever decided they also wanted their own version. But yeah, I decided that the version without grenadine was the one I wanted to try because I thought it would be drier, obviously, and yeah, I just thought, let's give that a try. Also, I don't have any grenadine, nor do I have any pomegranate juice, so grenadine wasn't going to be on the cards. So we've got all our ingredients in, and we are going to stir this for about 30-40 seconds until the glass is nice and cold. Okay, I think we've reached appropriate coldness and dilution, and we are going to strain into a coupe. Ooh, it's a full one. It's always the problem. It's either you pick one of these little vintage glasses and they always get too full, or you pick a more modern glass and you can never seem to make enough to fill it. And this is quite ceremonial. Oh, I thought it was my last cherry. It's not, I have two. So it's no longer ceremonial. Now, when I found this recipe for the one without grenadine on Difford's Guide, I'm gonna lick the spoon. It's too good to waste. They emphasize the importance of the maraschino cherry for color and for sweetness. So let's give it a taste. It certainly looks nice, sort of almost like a pale green, but I guess that's more just a sort of yellow from the vermouth. Oh, it smells really good, really good. Not what I was expecting. I haven't had a rum cocktail in a really long time, so I seem to always just end up with gin or bourbon or rye. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Oh, that's an interesting drink. It's funny because for me, rum, the associations, as soon as I taste rum, are with kind of, I guess, tropical and fruity, but it's not by itself, it isn't particularly fruity. And then you've got the dryness and the sort of herbaceousness of the vermouth, and then a little sweetness from the curaçao. It smells fantastic. It really does smell unusual and really good. Yeah, I like that a lot. The play between the rum and the vermouth is something I've never really come across before in a cocktail. That is interesting. Yeah, I would definitely put this on the kind of pre-dinner cocktail list. With it being dry like that, it's more kind of something to get the appetite juices flowing than a sweeter after dinner drink. Yeah, I like that a lot. I will be intrigued to try the version with grenadine as well when I can either be bothered to make some or buy some. Yeah, interesting drink. And there's something, let me hold it up so you can see, sort of very retro about the contrast between the cherry and the colour of the drink, because I feel like normally when you're putting a cherry in a drink, it tends to go in a drink made with brown spirits, normally something like a Manhattan. You can't really see it as much. But there's something very vintagey about the contrast between the kind of red and then the pinkiness of it fading out and the pale green of the rest of the cocktail. And I just sound like a complete crazy person at this stage, but that really does it for me. I like it, especially in a little vintage coupe like this. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that. It's another simple 3-ingredient drink and a very unusual combination of 3 ingredients. I will see you next week with another presidential themed cocktail.